Hey guys, it's Jessica from Audacity, and I am here with the real AG, aka Adrian Gardner, aka my big brother and my best friend since college. Hi!
Going on? How you doing?
It's so good to have you back at Audacity Magazine and Events. Happy Black History Month, everybody. As y'all know, this is part of Audacity's Black Parade. All Black content, all Black writers, all Black interviews, all Black business owners and creators all month long. And Adrian is going to be one of the many main people that we're highlighting. So a lot has changed since we saw you last. And we was dropping some gems last time. If you guys don't remember, go back and check out Privilege and Peril. That was a really fun interview that we did that is still catching views today. So if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description below. Make sure you guys check that out and see where we started here. But you are a father now.
Yeah,
You are a
yep.
father. He just recently graduated with his master's, and he's also been selected as teacher of the year for his district, right?
School, just from a
For,
school.
oh, for the school. But that's still a big deal. Still. All them teachers over there, and you the one.
Right.
So congratulations on everything. I'm excited to meet my little baby niecey, Miss Yara, and tell us about that. So like a lot of what I want to go through today is going to be on Black millennial fathers. He didn't know that, by the way, guys. We're going to talk about your music a little bit too, but we've highlighted millennial moms before, but we've never highlighted millennial dads. Tell us about what fatherhood has done for you.
I mean, just for me personally, it just gives me another reason to, go hard and, just grind for, another reason to, be smarter with decisions that I make on a day-to-day basis, changing my attitude towards certain things. You feel me? Made me think about a lot of things more, think about the long-term effects and, the
Hmm.
consequences of a lot of things more honestly, because, at the end of the day, it's always about coming home to my baby and doing, what I need to do to make sure, that I can make the best life possible for her. So just with that, it just made me have a different outlook on life for real, honestly. And
As
just a
somebody,
different
sorry.
Yeah, just a different outlook on life and just, in general and just, whatever just decisions I make, honestly. That's the biggest thing that's
Yeah.
done for me.
Now
Mm.
you've been a teacher for a long time. Would you say that like, do you feel like that prepared you in some kind of way to be a dad?
Yeah, I can say, since I teach like in middle school and I teach like, that transitional year that
Hmm.
they kind of, come into, I can see the effects of, what happens when a father is not present, and the effect that it can have on a kid when it comes to those transitional that transitional period, that age where they're really
Yeah.
starting to identify who they are and, make decisions based on, what their life had been up to that point and the kind of individuals that they want to become and even the kind of relationships that they start to pursue and form with other people. So just seeing those interactions between the kid that's at that age, you feel me, and just seeing those that come from different family dynamics and how that, can affect their personalities and can affect, how they act in class and school. It can
Yeah.
affect their academic performance, like I said, just affect, their outlook on relationships with just people in general, you know what I'm saying? So that just I can say that just makes me want to, be there for my girl.
Yeah.
You feel me? And just make sure that she sees, a good family dynamic between me and her mama, and just, and just how, just, I'm trying to, get the right words with it. But,
It's okay. This
just
is
want to
safe
make sure that
space.
she, yeah. So I just want to make sure that she sees the right family dynamics in between her and her mama and, and make sure she doesn't make, bad decisions in the future because she, didn't see a good family situation at home.
Yeah.
So that definitely yeah, working at the school and just, seeing some of the stuff that these kids might come to school with and talk about that had happened at home, or you see some of their living situations or family situations, and you can really see how it can affect them socially and, academically and stuff like that. So yeah, it
Yeah.
just made me more aware, learning how to, some of that stuff that I can already kind of figure is gonna happen once you get to that age, I can already kind of be prepared to have those kind of conversations with her and,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You feel me?
Kids are having a hard time these days too. I mean, like when our parents were growing up, they weren't worried about school shootings and things of that nature. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And they're having kids like do drill. Like, did you ever do school shooter drills? Because we didn't when I was growing up in Muskogee County. Like, we didn't have anything like that going on. Like, Columbine was a very unusual situation that you
Yeah.
really never saw again until we graduated and got to college. And then Sandy Hook kicked everything off and it started getting worse from there. But it's so interesting seeing like children now and how really, like you said, their academic situation is very much so foretold by their situation at home. And just in general, like the very different society that we live in now. Like, state of Georgia is trying to outlaw DEI at schools. And we have black kids, who are going to be made to feel othered. I am curious from an educator perspective and from a black dad perspective, from a millennial dad perspective as well, because that's all three of those things combined. Are there choices that you anticipate that you're going to be making differently for your daughter than you think your parents would have had to make because it's a new time? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like one thing that I do want to make sure that I create for my daughter is, a safe space to be able to come and talk to me, as a father when it comes to certain things because um I can't speak for anybody else's fan, but my parents, it was a certain, I could talk to them about certain stuff, but there was certain stuff where like, I don't know if I feel comfortable talking to them about this or
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll be able to, relate to me or help me, what I'm
yeah.
saying, with this, I feel like they think a certain type of way, so I might not be able to, what I'm saying, talk
Hmm.
about what's going on. You feel me? You can't have those certain conversations because, it could become a heated discussion type situation like that. So,
Yeah,
I just want to be able to create just a safe space for my daughter, what I'm saying, come and be able to talk to me about stuff and just not want to hide anything from it. Because that one thing I
yeah.
see a lot of kids out there, they feel like they gotta hide stuff from their parents. Some of them, some of the, some kids have too close of a, too I ain't gonna say too good of a relationship with their
They
parents because they're not
friends
such a
though.
thing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they two they
situation
best
where
friends. You can't be best friends with
yeah,
your parents until you get to be an adult. That's what me and my parents are friends now, but we was
yeah,
not friends growing up.
yeah, what I'm saying? So it's like that's one thing, is like, want to be a safe space and wanting to have that good of a relationship the way they can come to you and feel comfortable with you and talking to you, but at the
Right,
same time, you want to still, try to maintain that role that, I am your parent, so I'm not your
right,
friend, what I'm saying. You can have friends that y'all have that relationship with, but I'm your father, what I'm
right.
saying. So, it's just trying to trying to establish that when that time comes, my baby just still just turned
Yeah, she
6 months and
ain't
stuff
big.
like
She's not even
that.
a year old yet.
Yeah, so but just some of the stuff that I've been thinking about though, just as
Yeah,
I since she came into the world, just came into conception in the being, that's just some of the things that I've been thinking about,
yeah,
that I want to kind of prepare myself and just kind of make sure that I want to do, like I said, as compared to my mom and dad, you feel me, which I have a wonderful relationship with, but it's gotten better over the years, the older I've
right,
got. But like I said, working at the school, you can see how some kids don't have good relationship with their parents, and like I said, you can see those kids who have that, my parent is my friend relationship, where
yeah.
they can't really tell them nothing. You feel me? So yeah, that is just like I said, trying to balance that, you know, you're trying to balance
Hmm.
the scale.
Little boundaries and everything. And it's so
Yeah,
interesting because like babies, I feel like learn boundaries very early. Like earlier than a lot of people realize. When my cousin, she has a new baby, and she made extra sure that like the baby had her own room so that she understood that like you can't just run in mom and dad's room later
Right.
on,
Right.
whenever you want to, like it's boundaries and stuff. So I think it's great that you're thinking ahead. I think sometimes people just kind of haphazardly, do the parenting thing, and it's a lifetime commitment. So,
Yeah.
knowing that you're thinking ahead, I think that makes you an even better father, you know.
Yeah.
Do you
Appreciate
find yourself doing that a lot? Is that something that you've always done, thought ahead in that format, or do you find yourself doing that more now that you're a dad?
you. Yeah, like I would say it kind of really the teaching thing kind of made it, where I
Hmm.
consider to think ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, seeing how some of those relationships that those kids have with their parents and how that affects them in the classroom and how it affects even some of the decisions that they make outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they get into in the streets and everything like that. I've even just with my coaching situation, with my coaching career, I've had players that, have I've had players right now that, are in jail for murder because they done made the wrong decision and they came from the wrong situation. But then on the other hand, I also have players who are 3-star, 4-star prospects. Some player that's in college, some player that's getting ready to go to college, you know what I'm saying? Some player that's, graduated high school, going to the military that, come from some situations and then had, a different outcome. So
Yeah.
that has kind of like opened my perspective just with as far as like the kids of this certain age group. Because, a
Yeah.
lot of time we always think about, the older kids when they get to high school and people always talk about the younger kid, little kid, but that little group of middle
Yeah,
school
that
kids, that
early
middle school
adolescence.
era,
Yeah.
yeah,
A lot of
yep,
formative stuff happens there. A lot of formative
yep,
stuff happens in middle school. That's the early puberty and all that.
yeah,
Like, middle
mm-hmm,
school's hard.
mm-hmm,
Middle school is
yep,
hard. They don't know who they are yet. They don't know how they feel about anything, but they got a lot of feelings.
mm-hmm,
I, when people say like, "What era of school would you do again?" It is never middle school that I say.
right,
I never would say middle school
right,
ever in life. It's
right.
I'm good on that. But oh man, like, so you have you said you had students who are in jail right now for murder.
Mhm.
How old are they?
It was some of my players, my first year coaching. I'm not gonna really say their name on here,
No, of
put
course
them out
not. No,
there
no,
like
no,
that.
no.
My first year coaching, which was actually my second year teaching. But yeah, it was two kids, you know what I'm saying, that was on that team that I coached. You know what I'm saying? Right now they in jail, for murder. And that was that was something that
Sorry.
really just yeah, it really just kind of changed my outlook and just made me kind of think like, all right, you just saw the E-boys right here when they was
Yeah,
seventh, eighth grade. You know what I'm saying? Talking to E-boy every day. You know what I'm saying? Then
yeah,
now a couple of years going by, the wrong situation. They done made the wrong decision, and now
yeah.
they locked away for the rest of their life. You feel me? But
Already
then
thrown
like
their lives away and it hasn't even begun. Like they don't have those problem solving skills just yet to think that kind of rationally to not make those kinds of choices.
mm-hmm,
And I know I've seen like in the comments and stuff, like on, Georgia followers and like ATL Scoop and all that stuff, that loves highlighting the crime in Atlanta, but not the positive things as much as I would like, because that's not
right,
what gets the views. It's like, I get it, y'all got a job to do. But
mm-hmm,
on the other side of that coin, it's when those like I see in the comments like, oh, like when are people gonna start like, arresting the parents and charging the parents and so on. And where is it that we're missing the mark, you think? Because you're both a teacher and a parent now. And I know you're a new parent, so you don't necessarily know everything, but you got a little bit of, experience to back some things up. Like, where do you think that both as parents and as a community we're missing the mark? Because a lot of people blame quote unquote bad parenting on parents being young. In this case, parents are not that young anymore. We are the parents now. Like we're in our 30s. So these are not young parents at this point. What's missing the mark here that you think?
um. Honestly, I feel like a lot of that come back to how they were raised growing up,
Mm,
real for real, because you can even just as me teaching now, you can see some students have a jaded view of education now and have a negative view of education now. And then once you have a conference with that parent or call their parent, and you have a conversation with them, and you see the way that they're reacting to you even calling them about their kid, you can sometimes see why it's like, okay, I see why this student act like that because they
The
mama act like
parent.
that, or they dad act like this. You know what I'm saying? Even just a certain way. I even on another situation, a lighter situation, it was a student that I'm cool with now to this day. He's in the eighth grade now, but the boy always sag his pants, right? And I always have to tell him, man, pull your pants up, bro. I don't want
Right.
to see your draw, man. Pull your pants up. But then I want to say one day we had like a parent teacher conference with his dad or something like that, and his dad came in sagging his pants. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
it's like,
This grown man in here sagging pants.
so it's like I see where the little boy get it from. Not he not disrespectful or nothing to him. It just he just
Yeah.
sagging pants. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
just
just
not the
like,
best choices in place.
yeah, you
Yeah.
feel me? But just like you see this man see this probably done seen this his whole life up until he done met you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, he probably feel like that the way you supposed to wear him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't seen nobody wear him any other way. You know what I'm
Probably
saying?
dressed
Like
him
in the
like that as a
community that
baby,
he
poor
live
thing.
in. You feel me? So he see
Mhm.
what his daddy doing, you know. And then it's on the situation. And then another thing that comes to your mind is like, shoot, his daddy might be sagging the pants and everything, but shoot, at least he there. Some
But
people
he's
dad ain't
there.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people dad ain't there.
Yeah.
So, that kind of where, it's like, that kind of
That
situation.
balance. Yeah.
He's like, at least he there.
That brings me around to another question. Because you mentioned that like you're more intentional about being present for your daughter. And I think generationally speaking, like what's defined as a father's presence varies. Like our grandma's generation, it was, well, he paid the bills and that's
Right.
enough, right? And
Right.
then for our parents' generation, Gen X, it's okay, he pays the bills and he plays catch with the kids and that's enough. And now here we are, millennials, and we're the parents. And a lot of, especially millennial women who are working more now, are like, neither of those things are enough. You got to do more than pay the bills and play catch with the kid. You also need to change a diaper. You also need to help with the household labor because I'm working a job and you're working a job. And now I'm coming home and I'm doing the household labor. And so, millennial women, at least, are starting to define present fathers as something a little bit different and a little bit more hands on and a more holistic aspect of the household. What would you, as a millennial man and millennial dad, define as being a present father?
Um, First of all, just being there, and then on top of that, having a good relationship with the child's mother. You know,
Mm,
the relationship with her mother is the first relationship that she's ever gonna see between, what I'm saying, a man and a woman. That's gonna be
parts,
the
yeah.
first relationship that she's ever gonna see. So it's like that relationship right there is gonna fuel how she interacts with, whoever she decide to have any kind of relationship with in the future. So I
Yeah.
feel like being there and having a good relationship with her mother, and like I said, having those conversations, with her, making sure that she see that it's a partnership.
Yeah.
Communication. Make sure that she sees healthy communication. Um, Making sure that your daughter knows that you're gonna be there. Through the good and the bad. And just being present, just so that she just sees a lot of what the kids are doing, even just at the age of my daughter is just
What
really
they see.
visual. They're taking a whole bunch of information in. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
how they're learning is what they're seeing and what they're hearing and stuff like that. So you got to make sure that you're creating a good environment for her, to see a positive interaction and a positive relationship. And
Yeah.
that, yeah, a lot of that is what it is because like I said, just with being a present father, what I'm saying, if a father's there, but at the same time, the daughter is seeing that it's a toxic relationship between her mom and her dad, and they always argue. What I'm
Right.
saying? They always, there's always some kind of friction or tension in the household and everything. Yeah, the dad is there, but at the same time, that the daddy being there mean that it's a positive relationship that she's seeing. Is the daddy being there
Right.
having a positive effect? You know what I'm saying? So in that case, its presence enough, like you said? So, I feel like, that kind of stuff like that, just making sure she see that it's you have a good relationship with with her mother. So
Hmm.
with your partner, if that's, you know what I'm saying, whatever the situation is,
Right.
if possible, because, some people, bring kids into this world and they ain't even, have a relationship between them two. But just
Right.
as long as you see some kind of, just depends on the situation, I
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from this is it's not enough just to be there and show your face. There is a very intentional both emotional and mental health component that goes into that. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that you mentioned the relationship with the other parent as well, because I think a lot of times that kind of gets overlooked as far as like the notion of a present parent. Sometimes it's like, well, I picked up the kid and I took them for my time. No, no, no,
Right.
no. But how did that pickup go? How did that
Exactly.
exchange in the Burger King parking lot go? You know,
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
that's the situation, like if the parents are no longer together and the parents are together, then okay, cool. Like, is my dad dating my mom? Is my dad making my mom do all the housework?
Right.
Is my dad talking nice to my mom? You know?
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people kind of miss that because they think that, because the baby is a baby, the baby doesn't know any different. But babies pick up energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
They know
Mm-hmm.
tones, they know like volume, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they can
Yep.
feel intention, they can feel your energy and stuff. So
Yep.
I think it's super important that you mentioned that. And thank you for telling our viewers that because I can't speak for men. I just can't. Only if I'm speaking to my oppression as a woman. That's about it. But I can't speak for men. And that's one of the things I love about getting you in, I almost said in the booth with us, but this is not that situation. Though I heard you going back in the booth very, very soon.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
for sure.
true?
Definitely.
I heard through the grapevine. Well, the grapevine is, I saw it on your story.
But yeah, I am.
Yeah, tell us about
I
it.
feel like ever since I started music has kind of been my way of like keeping a diary sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes just a way of me to express myself and, just release a lot of the thoughts and stuff that I have up in my head, so
yeah.
that I might not have another outlet to, get it out in any other way. So sometimes, I feel like I need to, live life and go through stuff so that I can, add that to my music. And,
Hmm.
I can just say from this past year, 2024,
You got
so
a lot
much
of
happened
material
just in
now.
that one year. You know what I'm saying? So that right there just, gave me more inspiration and stuff like that. So I am definitely getting back in it. Yeah, I'm trying to probably drop some couple things this year. So we'll see. We'll see how the time goes.
I'll be there just like I was, being an old auntie, listening to my friends' music. So
Definitely.
now that you're a dad, do you feel like that's inspired you creatively in a different fashion?
Yeah, it definitely, especially because I got a little girl, it definitely affects the kind of music I want to put out there. You know,
Yeah.
just even just as me, just as I've gotten older, I feel like once you get older, your music needs to, to grow and evolve just like you do, and it need to be shown in your music. I personally feel like just as a fan of music, one of the things I like to do, I like to go back and listen to some of my favorite artists' older albums, and then I can
Yeah.
see their growth going up into the music they drop now. You know,
Hmm.
so I feel like people should be able to see, to sense your growth and see your growth through your music. I don't feel like I should be rapping about the same stuff at 32
Child,
as
I
I
hope
should have
not.
rapped about, what I'm saying, at 20, at 20.
And
You
we
know what I'm
still talking
saying?
about that house and the swats that y'all had then.
Hey man, like I
I
still,
got questions.
and you can draw on your past experience, but it's like you gotta understand that, it's you gotta grow with it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
show how you've grown from that experience. And just some people like to stay in that one time period, or stay rapping about that one certain thing. But I really like to show growth in my music and stuff like that. That's been a big thing of mine. That's why I like to make sure all my stuff is still posted. Like even if you go on my old SoundCloud, it's still stuff on my
Hmm.
old SoundCloud. But when I first started rapping, so I want people to go back and see, say, okay, this is what he sounded like on his very first mixtape. And then now we see for the latest, ATM2 and AG3, it's like, okay, this is what he sounded like
Right.
now. Like I can see the growth and see how he went from You know, how I went from, the first AG the mixtape to AG3 and just see how what was going on. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Like listening to like what you're saying, like, like many artists, like you need to evolve, right?
mhm.
And now that you are a dad, obviously, like, we're not making music for your to listen to when she goes to sleep, of course. But at
Right.
the same time, like, does that make you kind of rethink some of the content? Because, and to be clear, like, if y'all ever listen to the real AG's music, there's nothing in there that's like disrespectful or like violent towards women or anything crazy like that. Like, he has always been a gentleman through and through. But I do notice sometimes, when people have kids, specifically when they have daughters, that like they kind of reconsider like their language in some kind of way.
Mhm.
Has that crossed your mind in any format? Even though like your music again has like always been mad respectful.
Yeah, so I would say, like I said, my content never just really just been that bad toward, what I'm saying, women and
Mm-mm.
all.
It's never been bad at all. No,
But it definitely, because I know that she's gonna get older, with stuff being on platforms and everything,
she'll hear it
it's a good
eventually.
chance that she'll
Yeah.
still, what I'm saying, hear it. You know what I'm saying? I want her to go back and basically not, what I'm saying. I want her to go back and hear like, okay, my dad was dope. You feel me? Like my dad when he was
Right.
doing rap, he was dope. Like he was hard. You feel me? He was really
Yeah.
talking about something. So and I want her to be able to still, to play it and to still listen to it and still be able to get a message from her, even as, what I'm saying, a little girl. So it's definitely gonna be some stuff on there that, definitely gonna be geared toward, toward her and toward probably how my life, what I'm saying, how, I ain't gonna get too into it, you feel me? But what I'm saying, y'all definitely gonna have to, it's gonna be some stuff, what I'm
I
saying,
got
coming
two
out
men.
within the next project, probably the next couple of projects and everything, So yeah, she's it's definitely making me rethink some of my content,
Yeah.
and how at least even how I want to present it, how I want it to, be received and everything. I'm thinking about that.
Can we expect a little Yara cameo on the track? Are we gonna Blue Ivy her a little bit and throw her in
Oh,
there?
we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if she make a appearance on a video or something. We'll see.
Y'all better
And
tune in.
so,
Well,
you
it is always a joy to have you here with us at Audacity. And guys, make sure y'all check out the music. Make sure you guys follow him, stream him. He's available wherever you get your music. Feel free. Okay. And is there anything else that I'm trying to make sure? Is there anything else that I didn't cover? But I think we've worked it out. I think we worked it out. Oh, this will be fun. If your daughter sees this, let's say this interview's floating around in 5 years, 10 years even. Is there anything you'd like to say to Miss Yara?
know. um, you said 10 years, maybe 5 years,
Yeah,
10 years.
10 years,
Oh
whatever.
man,
She'll see
she'll be
this
like 10.
eventually.
She'll be like 10 years old or something. But whenever you see this boo, just know Daddy always love you. You feel me? And the best thing that happened to me. And I just can't wait to see how you grow and how, you mature into the person that you're gonna eventually become. It's gonna be great seeing you grow, and it's gonna be great seeing just become the person who you meant to be.
Oh
So
God, I'm gonna cry. I'm a cry baby. I'm a cry. It was so great having you back. Guys, again, make sure y'all like, follow, share. If you enjoyed this content, give us a follow, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram things. Thank you, Adrian. It's always great to have you. And guys, we will see y'all next time.